Hi, guys, and welcome to the channel. Today, we're talking about stories and the power that they have to shape our lives. You really don't want to miss this topic, so don't go anywhere. In 2015, Israeli historian Yuval Noah Harari challenged the world with a provocative and interesting proposal by claiming that human power, and therefore its superiority over all other living beings, is mainly due to our ability to create stories, as well as to convince others to believe them. According to Professor Harari, the ability to develop imagination, language, and communication skills made possible the creation of the greatest thinking trends in history, which have shaped our society, lifestyle, and even our personalities, creating a world to our own image and resemblance. Currently, most people recognize the power of stories as an element of human contact and empathetic interaction. We see this all the time on social media. Just think about the last time you took a selfie and the image or story you were trying to project. Actually, thanks to great fiction such as The Gods, art, politics, nations, empires, money, justice, and the state, we've obtained the inspiration and energy to undertake our great projects and ambitions. Just look at the ripple effect of Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. Although these stories have united, influenced, and mobilized millions of people, they've also had their dark side, causing abuses of power, hatred, wars, and other social conflicts, leading us to be willing to kill or die for them. Remember Hitler's vision of a superior race? But humans have never stopped building up stories. And even nowadays, we keep adding modern fictions to already existing myths, which go from fashions, cyberspace, social media, and superheroes, all the way up to the free market, human rights, equality, democracy, and even happiness. But at the same time, we've ended up surrendering to the slavery of things like bureaucracy, time scheduling, stress, consumerism, and a dehumanizing materialism, of which advertising is the biggest culprit of all because they create false needs. Recently, latest scientific developments in quantum physics are threatening to relegate to the realm of illusions some of the most deeply established concepts of our everyday life, such as space, time, gravity, matter, and even mathematics, as mere mental creations resulting from a misinterpreted perception of a sensory experience that serve us to function and operate successfully in this physical dimension, basically suggesting that when it comes to reality, we make it all up. Perhaps we would also be amazed to realize that all these ideas and fictions have helped us to create our own individual narrative, identified and personalized with our names, addresses, properties, professions, attitudes, experiences, and lifestyles. Not only have we lived our entire lives representing these various roles, but we've also tried to convince others to believe the image of ourselves that we want them to see. But stop for a moment and ask yourself whether or not this is really our true being, or if we've just been trapped in patterns of behavior designed by others. This is how, during human history, we've relied on different paradigms to address reality. Now, on one hand, ancient thinking has been the reflection of a more intuitive and imaginative perception of reality that's based on a deep tradition of conceiving things through fables like Cinderella and symbols like the cross in the search for essential truth. But on the other hand, there's the modern worldview that reflects the tendency for a more traditional, rational, logical, literal, reductionist, and mechanistic thinking in describing natural phenomena. However, we often forget that even a scientific paradigm is only an ideal model, just an instrument to understand reality and not reality itself. So sometimes it turns it into a myth and therefore a potential ideological element of political and social domination. Apart from finding these ideas extremely exciting and interesting, they allow us to reflect on a fundamental fact, which is the extraordinary creative capacity of the human mind, which is beyond comprehension, since it allows us not only to perceive, interpret, and interact with reality, but it also allows us to transform and recreate reality according to our needs with a sense of purpose by communicating ideas that transcend the physical reality. Compared to other living beings, which have only been able to adjust to the environment, this is the most distinctive feature of the human condition. This amazing skill has been extremely useful to the survival and advance of mankind, thus taking us successfully to where we are today. So it's quite reasonable to believe that it could also help us to tackle some of the most serious and urgent global challenges of our time, such as climate change and poverty, oppression, as well as other forms of violence and social unrest that we endure today. Amidst the chaos and decay of outdated paradigms, myths, and institutions, once again, we humans are faced with the historic need to search within our fertile and infinite imagination in order to find that new idea, a new mystical symbol that resonates within the deepest of our soul and captures the minds and hearts of multitudes to renew our confidence in a better destiny. And it all begins with you. So, now that you realize that you have the power to create a new paradigm, what are you going to do about it? Are you ready to create your own story, your own narrative, your own destiny? Why leave it up to someone else to write? The pen is in your hand. I'm Eva Ford. Just think about it.